It's 9:23 on November the 21st of 2016, and it's time now for Christian Talk Live with your host, myself, Isaac David Brinkman. Okay, now I want to talk to y'all today on Christian Talk Live about, do you think that it's right for people to take themselves a little too seriously and say, oh, well, I've got all this money going on, so I should flaunt it. There are too many people in this day and age that think that their money means more than God, that we worship. There's people in other countries, like there are Christians in Korea. I think it's South Korea, I heard, where they're praying for us, Americans, to stop letting money be what we worship and start worshiping God more. And I'm thinking that's good, but if they got to go that far, we got problems in our lives and we need to get it straight. If we can't get nothing straight, we keep this mess up. And I'm getting tired of hearing people make fun of us because we do things stupidly and we don't think before we act. Americans are supposed to be showing the world stuff, and we're showing them, all right, how stupid we can be. But beyond that, I think that we're not all the way there with what we need to be. But with that being said, what do y'all think of our new president? I say if he does what God told him to do, he's all right. If not, see, my point was, whoever gets in the White House, they need to follow the rules of God about being a president. That's all I was saying. I don't have a say on who should be president, even though it's Trump that's president after December and January. After the 2 months go by, December and January, because in January he becomes the president. So, with that being said, I've also known of people, I've heard of people, as a matter of fact, I'll say it now, I've heard of people that let elections decide their whole entire lifestyle, what they will and will not do in this world. I say, grow up and be what God wanted you to be. That's an alarm on my phone going off. I wish it didn't. I apologize for that. That was a message telling me that someone was trying to get a hold of me. And besides that, that's all it was. But anyway, I want to tell y'all, do y'all like the new president? What do you think of him? And also, what do you think of the radio show personalities Rick and Bubba? I think they're cool guys. They have a good message and they talk about God and Jesus. Yes, there are some things I wish they wouldn't speak of, but on the whole, they're good people. And I also want to know what you think about the fact that we got a president, but the president, he'll be president December and part of January. What part of January? The part before the opening ceremony for the swearing in for Donald Trump. And do understand, I hope that our new president will be a man that if he's not with God now, he will be before he dies, or before she dies, or whoever is president one day. I'm not trying to get y'all to say, you're wrong. I'm trying to say, I don't really want to say, this is who I voted for or didn't, or who I wanted in or didn't want in. But do you know that there's a majority of people that didn't even vote or even try to vote? Trying to vote would mean you went to the poll to vote and they told you couldn't vote because you had to either register to vote or re-register. Now, if you didn't register to vote, you couldn't vote. If you registered to vote and you voted when you should have, so it means you're eligible to vote for Trump or Clinton or whoever, then there's that. And then if you tried to vote and then they said you had to renew your voter deal, then those are three things that I think are important. And to say that people that get a SSI disability or who are on disability or whatever, they shouldn't have no say-so in the elections because of their status. Excuse me. But if they have health problems that cause them not to be able to work, what makes you think you even better than them because you got to work? As long as they got proof to God that they need that money, okay. But if they're scamming God, trying to scam Him, and they're trying to scam the government, I don't agree with that. And you can't scam God. God knows it all already. So what are we saying? And have you noticed that the reports of killer clowns, where did they go? They disappeared. I think it was an election and Halloween thing for this year. I think they wanted to make it a Halloween election thing. And they did, but then it disappeared. And what you think about tonight? United States versus Mexico in football. Hopefully that'll go good right now. And if it does, yes, sir. If it don't go good, well, I don't know what to say. We, as Americans, like to branch out and do more with our sports. That's why we get into other things like the cup for tennis. What was that? America versus Switzerland. Well, see, there you go. We're branching out more. And we're going to see what we can do more of. I see how that goes. But if God played a sport, what would his sport be? I don't know. And I'm not making fun of God. I'm thinking that we need to start looking at God more like he is important. Not like we used to